Good morning, church. So happy to be here with you this morning in the midst of this situation. I was actually thinking during the week about changing my sermon. I was actually planning about going over there and thinking about it and meditate about it and then come in the afternoon and pray and prepare a sermon. But then Princess said, that's not going to go away. You can preach about that next weekend. So I have something good for you this morning. And the title for this morning's sermon is With All Your Soul. Last time in the previous sermon, we were talking about how is your soul? That was the title of the sermon. You remember that? I hope at this point you have sort of like an answer to that question about how is your soul. Now you understand a little bit more what is your soul and how is your soul and how to take care of your soul and all that. In Mark 12:29-30 says, Jesus replied, "The most important commandment is this: Listen, O Israel, the Lord our God is the one and only Lord, and you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength." Love the Lord your God with all your soul. But I don't think that with the previous sermon you have an answer to how to love God with all my soul. We were talking about how is your soul. But the question still remains, then how I love God with all my soul, you know? And this is the sermon that I'm going to give to answer that question. How to love God with all my soul. Number one, I think that one of the things that you should do, that we should do in order to love God with all our soul is to be honest to yourself with your emotions. We talk about that the soul is the place where our emotions are like sitting, like place. It's like the place where our emotions and feelings and also some moral things are in place. And if you're not honest about what's going on in your soul, then there's not going to be a way that you can love God with all your soul. Because all that you're doing is just lying or pretending, which is not good for your soul and not good for your relationship with God. Because He loves you in the way you are right now, in the state that you are right now, with the feelings that you have right now, with the emotions that you have right now, whether they are socially acceptable or not, whether they are socially okay or not, whether people like it or not. God loves you with your emotions. The emotions that you have right now, He loves you even in that place. So you don't have to pretend. You don't have to lie about how you're feeling. And one of the best ways to love God with all your soul is to be honest. Honest with yourself and honest with the rest of the people. Because also your relationship with one another, it's going to, sometimes we tend to think that if we are strong, and then I'm going to help everybody if I'm strong. If I'm always happy, then I'm going to be able to help everybody. And sometimes you have to be real in order to help everybody. You know, just have to be yourself in order to help everybody. Because we don't need all the time the same like feeling, the same behavior, the same kind of person. You don't even know how you're going to connect with another person. It can be in a happy way or it can be in a sad way. It can be mourning, it can be just being there, it can be just showing up. Sometimes you just have to be there, shut up, and be there for the person. You don't have to just bring joy and all that, and sometimes you just have to be there. Husband, sometimes you just have to be there and shut up and say anything. Just be there. You know, sometimes it's worse if we say something. Just be there, shut up, and be there. And be honest about, and also accept honesty from the other person that is talking to you. You know, because sometimes the people is like, oh, I'm feeling sad. But why are you feeling sad? You should be feeling this and that. What do you know about the other person's life? You don't even know about your soul. How are you going to take care of other people's soul? You know? Or do you think that trying to change other people's souls is going to solve their lives? Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you just have to be there. You just have to be there with empathy, with love. And you can see Jesus. Jesus was having that kind of reflections. He wasn't always like trying to encourage people to be happy and to have joy and enjoy it all the time. He was just there with the people. He was asking, what do you want me to do for you? He could have said to the people, I know what you need and I'm going to fix you, you know? And he was like, what do you want me to do for you? You know? He knows everything about you, but he is asking you, what do you want me to do for you. And sometimes we don't even ask because we just want to go and fix and do this and do that. But being honest to yourself and letting honesty from other people welcome you, I think is a good way to start loving God with all our soul. Number 2, knowing and having control of them. Now, if you don't know how you're feeling because you are hiding those emotions, because you are not taking care of what's going on, then that's not going to take you to a place where you can actually, with honesty, say, God, this is how I'm feeling today. God, this is what I'm feeling today. God, I'm angry today. God, I'm happy today. God, I'm sad today. God, I'm feeling just this today. And I don't know what to do with that, you know? But you need to know what's going on in yourself. You need to bring that real person to you. You don't even have to proclaim it to everybody, but it's to yourself first. To be real to yourself, know how you're feeling, know what's going on in your life and in your body, with your emotions, with your feelings, with what's going on in yourself, and then having control of that. Because again, like I was saying before, and maybe some of you were thinking about something that I'm going to show, that sometimes we think that just joy and happiness the whole time is going to solve the problem. And that reminds me, go to the next picture, of I think everybody or a lot of people have seen the movie Inside Out. Yeah? Anybody have seen the movie Inside Out? Yeah, good. Go to the next slide. So it's like when Joey was having control of the whole thing. When Joey was having control of the person, what's the name of the girl? No, the girl. Riley. When Joey was having control of Riley, when sadness was trying to do something, Joey was like, no, you're not going to be able to do that. No, you shouldn't do that. No, you're not going to do that, you know? So Joey was trying to push sadness into another place. Where's that? You know? And Joy wasn't always like right with her decisions. And those are emotions. Like the picture you show that you have different emotions. But you need to know your emotions and you need to have self-control about your emotions so your emotions are not having control of your life, but you have the control of your life. And I know it's easier to say than to do. But at least we need to start with some point. And then we can move forward and then we can handle something better. Or like anger. There are some people that are joy all the time or anger. Go to the next slide. Anger. You cannot let anger control. That's one of the things that we talked about in our last sermon, that anger can lead you to sin. Anger itself is not the problem, but anger can take you to a place where you are committing sin. If anger is controlling your life, then you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems because you're always gonna be like anger. You know, in the movie, he's like, no, we need to react this way. We need to do this, and then it's like, and Joy's like, take it easy, you know. But there's a place for anger. There's a place for joy, and there is also a place for like anxiety. It was like in the second movie, anxiety came and and anxiety was taking place of the whole situation, you know. Anxiety was trying to control the thing because now the new emotion was coming into place. And when anxiety was coming to control the things, because anxiety is just about the things that will happen in the future, but that hasn't happened, everything can just get out of control. But if you leave your emotions, control your life, and if you leave your emotions, control yourself, then you may have problems. You know, emotions are not bad. Emotions are a part of who you are. And God gave it to you so you can experience, you can feel them, you can enjoy them, even the ones that we think we shouldn't enjoy, like sadness or like anxiety. Because there is some purpose in that if it was put into us by God. There's some purpose of some of the things that are going on in our minds and in our heart and in our feelings. There's a purpose about the things that we are experiencing. There's a quote from a physician, Richard Feynman, and he said, imagine how much harder physics would be if electrons have feelings. So it's like electrons is some of the things that connect part of the world that we live in. There are electrons everywhere. And I was thinking, how much harder will be this life if everything else had feelings, like the mountains, like the clouds? Like, did you imagine a world where those things will have emotions? It's like, so the cloud is crying, it's sad because it's raining. Now the cloud is happy the whole time, so it's not raining. It's like now the mountain is not producing because it's feeling sad. Now, I don't know, the soil, I don't know, it would be a crazy world if everything had feelings. But it's just enough with us. This world is crazy enough with our feelings, with people that have feelings like you and me. So it's just this idea. And then Proverbs 19, verse 8 says, He who gets wisdom loves his own soul. He who keeps understanding will find good. So he who gets wisdom loves his own soul. And he who keeps understanding will find good. So if you don't know what's going on in your life, if you're just pretending, if you're just pushing your emotions, if you're just saying to sadness, no, you stay there, you're not going to do good, you're not going to do this in my life, I don't think that's wisdom. And I don't think that you're taking care of your soul if you're doing that. He who keeps understanding about what's going on in your life, how are you feeling, how the people around me are feeling. Once I take care of myself, then what's going on around me? Am I aware of what's going on with my people, with the relative, with the people that I live with? Am I aware of the feelings and the emotions of the people that I work with? Am I aware of the feelings and the emotions of the people of the church? What's going on with other people's life? You know? He who gets wisdom loves his own soul. But how many times are we in a place where we're not loving our own soul? We don't want to have that soul anymore. Maybe it's so broken, maybe it's so depressed, maybe it's in a lot of anxiety, maybe it's in a place where we don't like because we see other people and everybody else is happy. Everybody else is having success, but me. How can that happen? You know, everybody else is just enjoying life, and I am not. And I'm not taking care of myself, and I'm not loving my soul, the soul that God gave it to me. But if I say, do you love God? Yes, I love God. You know? He who keeps understanding will find good. And that's why I think about the second point that I gave is knowing and having self-regulation, self-control of your emotions. Because if you keep understanding, you will find good in that. If you keep lying, I don't think you will find good in that. If you keep pretending, I don't think you will find good in that. If you keep pushing your emotions back because that's not me, because I wasn't raised that way, because that's not how it's supposed to be, blah, 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 then I don't think you're going to find good in that. You're honesty to yourself, honesty to the rest of the people. I think that we're going to find more empathy in one another, and we're going to love us, and we're going to love one another in a better way if we do that. Number 3, protecting your soul from things or people that can hurt it. Sometimes, because we don't care about our souls, we let people do whatever they want with our souls. You know? I don't know if you have been in that place where you're like, do whatever you want. I don't care. You know? Yeah, I know that place is not good for me, but you know, I know that relationship's not good for me, but you know, I know I could be doing something different, but you know, I don't know if you have been in that place, but you need to take care of your soul. You need to protect it from people that can hurt it, that can damage, that can contaminate. Proverbs 19 verse 15 says, slothfulness cast into a deep sleep. The idle soul shall suffer hunger. It's like the hunger is not just coming because, yes, it's because of how you're taking care of your soul. And that's why it says, the idle soul shall suffer hunger. If you're not taking care of your soul, if you're not protecting your soul from people that can do something to your soul, then at some point you're going to be so hungry. You're going to be so in need of something that you don't even know what that is. Because I don't know if you have been in that place where nothing is good for you and you don't know what's going on with your life. You need something. You know you're missing something. You know you need something, but you don't know what that is. And maybe it's your soul saying, like, I'm so hungry. I need love. I need you to take care of myself. Slothfulness cast into a deep sleep. Sometimes we are like, I'm not going to do anything. It's fine, you know. It's okay. It's not that bad. And then it casts into a deep sleep. And when you wake up, everything is just out of control. I don't know if you have been there. Number 4, giving my real soul to God and loving Him from there. Because the verse says, love me with all your soul. Well, you need to give all your soul to God in order to love Him with all your soul. But you need to take care of that soul. You need to give Him your reality. Now it's something that you're pretending. Because we read in the previous sermon about the soul that He knows everything. You don't have to pretend to Him. You don't have to lie to Him. He knows everything about you. You know? You can lie to me. You can lie to other people. But you cannot lie to God. He knows everything. Just give your reality to God and He will take care of you. He will have control of you. He will help you. He will lead you into the right path. Giving your real soul to God and loving Him from there. I don't think when He's saying love me with all your soul, He's talking about some kind of fakeness, some kind of pretension of the soul that you think you should have. I think He's just saying love me with all your soul. It doesn't say what kind of soul you should have. It doesn't say the state of the soul that you should give Him. It just says, love me with all your soul. That means all your soul. That means that my soul is going to be different than your soul. That means that your soul is going to be different than everybody else. And it's okay. Because He's just telling you, love me with all your soul. He doesn't say how the soul should be. He's not saying that. He's just saying, give me everything that you have. And everything includes the things that you like and the things that you don't like. Everything is everything. It's all your soul. Give it to me. Proverbs 19, verse 16 says, he who keeps the commandment keeps his soul, but he who is careless of his ways will die. And one of the commandments that we're talking about is, love me with all your soul. And the verse says, he who keeps the commandment keeps his soul. If you keep the commandment, love me with all your soul, you're going to be taking care of your soul. If you take care of your soul, then you're going to keep the commandment. It makes sense? But he who is careless of his ways will die. You know? If you don't care about what God is planning, what God is thinking, that was the sermon last Sunday. We were talking about that the ways, the plans of God can also be a translation of the thoughts of God. If you don't care about what God is thinking, what God is planning for you, what God has for you, you're not taking care of yourself, and you're not taking care of the commandment that says, love me with all your soul. Make sense? I can see your faces like the anger. I want to say something. I want to say something. Love Him and love others. That's the other commandment that it says that we have. Because it says if you keep the commandment, you keep your soul. And the other commandment that we have is love one another. How am I going to love one another? First, if I'm not taking care of myself. Second, how am I going to love one another if I just want to fix one another? And not even one another. I want to fix others, not one another. Because one another is one another. No, I want to fix everybody because I don't have any problems. You know? How are you going to accept the reality of another person and welcome that reality and take care of that reality? You know? So love Him and love others. And how can I do it is if my soul is broken or is contaminated. You know? Because sometimes we have our souls so contaminated because of the past, because of the decisions, because of the things that I have let come into myself, because of the people that I have let come into myself, because of the reactions that I have had. How can I love God with all my soul if my soul is so contaminated? And I want you to think about what kind of things are contaminating your soul. What kind of things have been contaminating your souls? Think about that a few seconds. What kind of things do you think are contaminating your soul and not helping you to love God with all your soul? And I have some options here. And let's say that this is your body and the water is your soul. What about believing that you're not loved? Good one. Contaminate my soul. Giving your soul to anyone but God. Good one. That's contaminating your soul. Sexual immorality. That was Jesus. Jesus said that contaminates your soul. Trying to please people and not God. I think that contaminates your soul. Envy. That was Jesus again. Jesus said envy will contaminate your soul. Folly. That was also Jesus. Arrogance. That contaminates your soul. Oop. So, believing you're not enough. That contaminates yourself. That can affect how you're feeling, what you think about life. Evil thoughts. Any kind of evil thoughts. That contaminates your soul. Greed. Yeah, that for sure contaminates your soul. Because that's going to take you out of perspective. You're just going to find to please yourself and your like ambitions and all that, not taking care of other people. That contaminates your soul. Accepting lies about you. Ooh. How much of our souls are contaminated by that? By how we were told that we are, how we were brought up, the relationship that we have right now, the relationship that we have had in the past, experiences that we have had in the past. How much of that is actually contaminating ourselves? And it was something that happened probably a long time ago, but our soul are still contaminated because of that. Two more. What comes out of your mouth. That's what Jesus said. It's not what comes in, but what comes out of your mouth. What contaminates your soul. How many times have we been the people that are telling other people things that are not true about them? Just because I think that's the right thing to say. Or that's because that's what's going to benefit me. Or something like that. One more. Believing you belong to nowhere. How many times that feeling of, I don't don't belong to anywhere. You know? There's no place for me. I'm so bad, I'm so broken, I'm so this, and I'm so that I don't belong to anybody. And I don't belong anywhere. The good thing about this is that 1 Peter 1:22 says, having purified your souls by your obedience to the truth, for a sincere brotherly love, love one another earnestly from a pure heart. So you remember the sermon about the heart? That we had a stone heart, and I was thinking, and we were talking about how to love God with all my heart. And then we realized that God changed my heart and gave me a new one so I can love him with all my heart. And guess what he did with my soul? Peter said that he purified my soul so when I was obedient to the truth, for a brotherly love one another earnestly from a pure heart. So I was thinking about this, and purification process is something like this. It's not exactly like this, but it's like when you have something that is contaminating you, and God does something like this. Not anymore. All gone. Who did this? You by yourself? It's so hard to get rid of this when you don't even know what you have. Because those are things that you may have and you may not have, and you're just reacting to life in a certain way, and you don't know why you live life that way, and you don't know how you react to life, and why are you reacting to life in that way. And it's probably because a lot of this trash is in your soul, and you don't even know that it's there. But when you were obedient to the truth, God said, you know what? I purify your soul. It's clean. It was a purification process by God, not by you. If it was by me, I will have some of the things here still. I will say, okay, I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to take this other one. But this one I think is important for me. It was a purification process, and purification means to make clean or to sanctify. So he make your place a sanctuary for him. He make your soul a clean place, a clean, whatever it is, the soul, material, something. He make it clean. It was not you. And when did that happen? When you were obedient to the truth. Now, if you haven't been obedient to the truth, then maybe this is just still available for you, so that you can come to that place where you can have this purification process of your soul, where you can have a new heart, where you can have a new everything, a new life, a new opportunity. But if you have done that, when you believe to the truth, you had a purification process. And sometimes what I think it happens is that we are so used to what people say about us and how our souls were before and how our hearts were before, that we don't see transformation in our lives, even when Jesus came to our lives. We think that everything is just the same. There's no way that Jesus is in your life and everything is the same, because there's no connection between God and sin. There's no connection between God, which is light, and darkness. There's no connection. There's no way. There's something that happened or hasn't happened in your life and in your body and in your souls and in your minds and everything that you have that has changed in order for God to come and take place in there. There's no way that what it was before is in there. There's no way. There's no way that that can live in the same place. There was some process, like your heart. It was a new one. Like your soul. It was clean. It was made clean. It was sanctified. It was restored. And that realization should change your mind into a way that you don't have to longer live with this because you don't have this anymore. But you think you have them. It's clean. It's purified. It was cleaned by God. And if God cleans something, do you think that that He should come every week? You think that He should do it like every other week or what? I don't know. Because He didn't do it right. He forgot that corner. You know, that corner was when one of these was there. You know, it was in a corner. It was in a place where He couldn't see. It was behind the TV. That's why He couldn't clean it. It's God. It's not me cleaning your souls. I'm not going to be able to do that. Nobody is going to be able to do that. No psychologist is going to be able to do that. We can, like psychologists or people like me, we can have conversations. I can help you. But I'm not going to clean your souls because that's a process that God did. And thank God because of that is coming from God and not from Danny. Otherwise, it will be not properly. Thank you. Just when I said that, you got that amen? Don't ask me to clean your house. Now, something interesting about 1 Peter 1:22 is that it says, for, so our souls were clean for a sincere brotherly love. And he talks about the word honest. For an honest brotherly love, where we love one another in an honest way. You know? Love one another earnestly from a pure heart, with all my soul. Love me and love one another. Let's cover this so nothing comes in. There's a quote from Sam Smith. He's an American journalist, and it says, I feel the vacuum, the loneliness, the silence, the dehydration of the soul as people who want desperately to save our Constitution, our country, and planet still wander the streets without even knowing how to say hi to one another. And I was thinking about this quote in two ways. It's like, how many times do you want to change the world? And your soul is so dehydrated, that's the word. At the same time, where you are thinking about, let's make a change, let's change everybody else. And your soul is so hungry and thirsty. And that's where you get to the point, like, you hit rock bottom. You go to the lowest point because you were not taking care of yourself, but you want to change everything. You know? I need to do something about this. I need to do something about that. You need to do something for yourself. Take care of yourselves. How many people are just trying to change everything, to change the world, to change the Constitution? And they are just lonely. They just feel silence in their lives, and their souls are so dehydrated that they don't even know how to get out of that. And the other thing that it says is that they are desperately to save our Constitution, country, and planet, still wander the streets without even know how to say hi to one another. How many times are we trying to save the world and we don't even say hi to one another? How many times are we trying to do some crazy thing, but we don't even say hi to one another? We don't even know how to love one another. You don't even know how to love myself. You don't even know how to love my soul. You don't even know how to love God with all your soul. It's complicated, you know. But all of this, that we're talking about, all this purification process, all of that what we're talking about is thanks to Jesus. And 1 Peter 2:24 and 25 says, having purified your souls by your obedience to the truth, for as sincere brotherly love, love one another earnestly from a pure heart. For you were straying like sheep, but have now returned to the shepherd, an overseer of your souls. Maybe at some point you were straying. Maybe right now you're astray. Maybe you're lost. You don't even know what to do. And I like that the connection with one verse with the other, it was like perfect for me. It was saying that he purified, or he can purify your souls. And it says, for you were straying like sheep. Maybe you are at this moment, you're just lost. Maybe. You don't know. And it's okay. And it's okay if you're lost. It's okay. That's a good way to start. Just admitting and saying, honestly, yeah, I've been lost for a while. I've been pretending for a while. I've been now taking care of myself for a while. That'll be a good starting point. Maybe you have been astray, but have now returned to the shepherd. He is the one that is going to take care of you like a shepherd, like an overseer. And he's going to take care of your soul. It's like the verse is saying that. You can come back to him. Or you can just come for the first time to him. And he will clean your soul. And he will make you a new person. And he will make you a different person. Whatever you were thinking that you were having is not going to be there anymore. It's going to be a purification process by God, not by me. It's clean. It's gone. No, but it's gone. It's gone. And another thing that I like about verse Mark 12:29, it says, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul. And guess what's the next sermon about? It all makes sense. Because sometimes your mind is the one that is saying, oh no, I have all this. When the reality is that you don't have it. Your mind is saying to yourself, yes, I have all this. But he will take care of your soul. So go and live like you have been purified. Go and live like you're taking care of yourself. Go and live like you can be honest with other people and you can hear the honesty of other people and you can help other people and love one another and say hi to one another. Go and live that way. Go and live like a person that is loving God with all your soul. Go and be that person for others. There are so much need. There are so many souls here around us in our communities that are so thirsty and hungry that they need people like you and me that God can use to help those people in need. So go and live that way with all your soul. God bless you.